Hi everyone, welcome to another live stream. I hope you all can hear me and let me share my screen to get started with this masterclass on self awareness. Okay, so I hope everybody can hear me and you can also let me know in case in the chat box. Okay, so today we are talking about masterclass and it is the first masterclass in soft skills. हम बात कर रहे हैं सेल्फ अवेयरनेस की. अभी क्लियर दिख रहा है. सबसे पहले समझते हैं व्हाट इज सेल्फ अवेयरनेस. Self awareness means knowing what you feel, why you feel it, and how it affects your actions. Self awareness means exactly understanding yourself, why do you feel a certain way, and the actions that you take in your life, how it is related to what you feel. It is basically understanding what you think, what you feel, and what you do. So think of it as having a mirror inside your mind. अपने mind के अंदर just think that you have a mirror and you can see how you're reacting and how you're feeling about it. Now, why is self awareness important? Why is self awareness important? It is important because of a number of factors. When we are self aware, जब हमें अपने बारे में जानकारी होती है, we understand our strengths and weaknesses better. हम अपनी strengths और weaknesses अच्छे से समझते हैं. We manage our emotions better. Management of the emotions is a difficult task. Um, that is why if you are self aware, you can really work on that and you can be a more balanced person in your life. You also make better choices when you're self aware. A lot of times, a lot of bad decisions happen because we are always in a hurry and we don't have enough time and space to think about certain decisions that we've taken in our lives. And I think if we are self aware from a very early age or from a very young age, we'll be able to make better choices in our life, whether it's in personal life or professional life. You grow personally and professionally. Absolutely, yes. If you really want to grow in your personal life, if you really want to grow in your professional life, it's important for you to be very, very self aware. It's the first step to emotional intelligence. Aajkal, you will see a lot of people talking about emotional intelligence and how it has paramount importance in today's life. So, self awareness is a concept which is related to emotional intelligence. Now, there are two types of self awareness. First is internal self awareness, and second is external self awareness. Internal self awareness means when you know yourself from the inside, when you understand your thoughts, when you understand your feelings, your values, and habits. And external self awareness is knowing how others see you. People can have a judgment based on the body language that you have, the tone that you have, and the behavior that you exhibit. So, that is also one aspect of external self awareness. So, whether it is internal or whether it is external, both are needed for success in life and work. So, we need to be self aware internally as well as externally, both the ways. What are the different signs that you are self aware? The first is you pause before reacting. Usually, it's not very easy to pause before reacting. The person who can actually pause before reacting is the person who know his or her triggers as to what can trigger you and how you react towards it. Second is taking responsibility for your actions. If you are a person who likes to take responsibility for your actions, you are self-aware. Like you don't want to do the blame game or put the blame on somebody else and take the full responsibility. I think that is also one of the signs that you're self-aware. You know about your emotions well. Third is you accept feedback without getting angry. A lot of times you'll get a lot of feedback from people that you know, people you don't know, sometimes strangers also. But the ability to accept the feedback without getting angry or offended is also one sign that you are actually self aware. Next sign that you're self aware is you know what motivates you. Motivation is the desire to do something with an intent. If you actually know what motivates you, that is also a sign that you're self aware. When you also reflect on your day or mistakes that you've made in your life, that is also one of the signs that you're self aware. Self aware people observe themselves like a third person. they observe other people and they observe themselves as a third person, as if they are, looking at themselves in a mirror. It's as simple as that. How can you practice self awareness daily? There are certain simple habits which will help you to build self awareness. First of all, writing a short journal daily. Journaling has always been very popular, especially now with YouTube. There are a lot of creators who talk about journaling day in and day out, and it's always a good habit. Like, journaling is a more fancy word of diary writing. We've been doing diary writing for a very long time here in India, but now when we talk about journaling, it's also very similar. Next is practicing 5 minutes of silence or deep breathing. If you can meditate, if you can do practice deep breathing, that also helps us in practicing self awareness. Asking ourselves, why did I feel a certain way and what am I feeling right now? Also, noticing what triggers your emotions helps you practice self awareness daily, and also accepting feedback without defending. So, a lot of times people have this habit of getting very defensive and getting ready with all the answers to every question that is posed against them. But if you can accept feedback without becoming defensive every time, I think that is also one of the ways to practice self awareness. Now, here's an activity which will help you understand your triggers. Think of a moment when you got really, really angry. Like, I'm thinking of a moment when I get really angry. I think of a moment when I feel very nervous or when I felt very proud in my life. What caused it? What was the underlying reason? I try and investigate through it, and how did I respond to that particular situation. That also, like, it's quite in my head. What could I differently do differently next time? This is where you can actually bring in some kind of change in the way you react, in the way you feel about a certain situation. And definitely in the future, your response, you'll not be as reactive as you were in the previous situation. So I would like to know from the people who are going to watch this masterclass in the future or today, that, do you know your triggers? Can you identify and recognize your triggers as to what things trigger you, and maybe like pop in a kind of response, whether it's a negative response or a positive response with you. Please write your answer or share it in the comments, and I'll see your comments there. So that's all for a little mini masterclass on self awareness that I wanted to hold for all of you. And whenever you see this live stream, do let me know in the comments if you had any learning from the entire session. Thank you.